A few years ago, I began asking myself, what is the major difference? What is that thing that set apart those who in their generation created generational influence, generational impact in a way that it is so profound, is so mind-blowing? What set them apart from those who did not or those who will not? And this question and asking had to push me into research. I took some time to first of all research, the greatest disruptors in history as a whole, so some top disruptors in the 20th century and in the 21st century. And the main aim of me, taking the time to study and to read and to analyze and to understand is to see, will I find something that these people were doing or they were focusing on that you cannot find in the life of an average person, an average, citizen, and all of that? And guess what? I discovered so many things. I learned a few things. And from the things that I learned, I love to create solutions and frameworks and strategies that people can implement and and discover or create results that they have never created before. So from the things that I discovered, and of course, I started practicing many of the things and the frameworks I developed, and I can tell you I have seen changes. And as a coach, as a consultant, as a trainer, as a speaker, I have also helped my clients and the people I work with, and I began to share with them some of these things. Can you practice this framework in the work that they're doing? Because this is the framework I have developed based on what I've discovered. And I believe that if you practice this framework, it is going to bring you to that place where you are not just, one of the people, you are not just similar, but you are going to start operating from that place where you are a generational disruptor. You create generational influence, in your industry, in your nation, in your society. And of course, we have seen incredible feedback. So what am I saying? In this video, I want to share with you some of the things that you can begin to apply as a person, as a professional, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, despite what you do. And it will bring you to that place where you are a generational influencer. You are that person who creates significant impact in your generation as a person. And from these studies in general, I've been able to create what I call the 13 frameworks for transcendent impact and generational influence. I will not be able to cover all of these frameworks in this video. If I want to teach this in a masterclass, I would need at least, 9 hours of teaching, cutting across a couple of days. So these are things that I get to teach and in the master classes I organize in the conferences and all of that. So I will share one or two of these frameworks, and I believe that if you pick them and execute them, you will skyrocket and scale the work that you do today to a high level that you will be proud of yourself and you will make God proud. And of course, your generation will be proud that you were born in that generation. Now, high achievers, generational disruptors are people that I have discovered that they transcend material pursuit, and they have come to a place where they position themselves within transformative ideas, transformative agendas that shift industries, societies, and humanity itself. What am I saying? One of the core things that I discovered in the lives of these people I was studying from, from history, from the 20th century, 21st century, is that these people operated beyond materialism. I'll explain. They operated beyond materialism. They came to a place where they were living with the consciousness that how can the ideas that I create, how can the agendas that I create or I am part of, how can these ideas and these agendas and these visions and these institutions, how can I run them? How can I execute them in a way that they shift industries, in a way that they shift societies, in a way that they shift humanity as a whole, and in a way that they shift the generation that I am in? So, the concept and the frameworks I'll be sharing with you is that you come to a place where you position yourself to participate in ideas, in agendas that transcend material things. Let me tell you, what I am teaching in this video is not for people who their greatest desire is to get married, build a house, get a car, and have some money in their bank account. No, I am talking to people who see life beyond this level. If you're that person, then this is for you. You see, I've come to the conclusion that you are a child. You are a very small player. You are very small minded. If all you position yourself for and all you participate in is in getting material things, then you are still a baby, you are very small minded, and you have not come to the true calling and why God created you. Because here's my discovery again: generational thinkers, generational disruptors, and people who shifted their industries, shifted their nations, shifted their continents, shifted humanity as a whole. They understood how to position themselves and to participate in agendas and ideas and products and services, movements, if you may add, that go beyond these material things. So knowing how to master, how to shift these things I'm talking about will shift your life for good. And just a side note, here's what I discovered. Many people who operated from this realm and from this level of thinking and execution, many of them did not die broke. And here's why I always say that money in the real sense, we are not supposed to chase after money. We are not supposed to look for money. We are not supposed to run after money. Money is in us becoming, and money run after us. There's a level of becoming that when we become, God orchestrates the forces of the universe to cause money, opportunities, breakthroughs, liftings, testimonies, what have you, to come your way. You see that? And when you begin to become, it changes you in such a powerful way. Now, the first framework I want to cover is what I call the Legacy Nexus Framework. The Legacy Nexus Framework. Follow me carefully, take some notes. Now, this framework is rooted in a scripture, very, very powerful scripture. You see, for those who are not believers, most of the things that I teach are rooted in the Bible. And of course, you must not be in my faith for you to be transformed and to become, the person of impact. But this is eternal life, right? Now, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11. The Bible says, he has made everything beautiful in its time. Talking about God, God has made everything beautiful in its time. The last statement is the focus for today. And it says, also, he has put eternity into man's heart. My goodness. God has put eternity into your heart. You are supposed to live a life that is operating from the highest level possible. Now, let me break this legacy nexus framework, and Ecclesiastes 3:11 is the foundation, is the core of this legacy nexus framework. Now, let me lay 4 points to back up this legacy nexus framework for you so you can understand and practice in what you've been called to do as a professional, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, or whatever you do. Legacy is not built in moments. Follow me carefully. Legacy is not built in moments, but legacy is forged. Legacy is built through intentional actions and eternal minded actions. There is something I call eternal minded actions, where you operate from a place where when you are taking actions, you are not focusing on immediate gratification or what you're going to benefit right now, but you are conscious. How are these actions going to contribute to my generation, to long-term impact, and of course, in helping me live life in a way that eternity is in focus. The second point under this legacy nexus framework is that I have discovered that true influence transcends material gain. True influence is about anchoring whatever you do in purpose and generational transformation. So if you will be a person who genuinely creates or genuinely is influential, you must be that person where the things that you don't do them because you want to gain certain material things. Maybe it could be money, position, and all of that. Those things are byproduct of people who are purpose driven, because every purpose is for a group of people and solve problems in the lives of those people. And anybody who lives their purpose in the highest level possible, that person cannot lack money, because there's a way that your purpose will be refined and executed and solve problems in the lives of people that by default you will get paid doing that. All you need to do is to master the art of monetizing your purpose, but not monetizing for the sake of getting money, but monetizing so you can get money to finance the operations of your purpose. You get the concept? So, and of course, you are also focusing on generational transformation, right? Now, the third point under this is leaders create legacy. When I say leader, I'm not talking about you having people that follow you. Leadership is in the way that you think, in the way that you execute, in the way you live your life as a person. You are a leader. You listen to me. You are a leader in your own right. So, leaders create legacy when vision outlives them and empowers future generation. So, here's what I'm saying. You will create legacy. I will create legacy when my vision, when your vision will outlive you. And not only outliving you, but the vision that you have has the capacity to empower the future generation. It could be as basic as a father, as a mother. How can your vision empower your own children? How can the vision that you have for your family outlive you as a father, as a mother, and impact your children and your grandchildren? You get the concept? So you need to start thinking that way. You understand that as a person, I create legacy. True legacy will be created when my vision outlives me, but not only outliving me, but that vision has the capacity to empower the next generation coming after me. And this next generation could be your children, your siblings, it could be the people in school, or anywhere you find yourself. You create the vision in a way that empower people around you. It could be in your organization, junior colleagues, or even colleagues in the same age group, in the same level, but you are thinking at this highest level that empower, the next set of people or the future of that organization. Therefore, greatness is measured not by possessions, but by the lives forever transformed and uplifted by you. Your true greatness, your true greatness is measured and will be measured not by the number of cars that you have, number of houses that you have, the amount of money in your bank account, but your true greatness will be measured by two key things. Number one, by the lives forever transformed by you, by the things that you do. Number two, by the lives uplifted by the things that you do. Now, let me share with you the three pillars that make up the legacy nexus framework. So, as you're listening to me and thinking of applying this legacy nexus framework in your life, in your career, in your business, you need to be you need to be conscious of these three pillars. So you need to build your career, your business, your life, and the things that you do on these three pillars. Number one is purpose beyond profit. Like I said in my introduction, when I studied some of these great generational disruptors and leaders in history, in the 20th century, 21st century, this is one of the things I discovered that they did. These people understood how to play the game by focusing on purpose beyond profit. You don't just live your life, let's say in business, just to make profit, just to get paid as a worker, but you're living your purpose beyond profit. So you define success by long-term, multi-generational impact rather than immediate material gains. So here's where you as a person, you are defining your success, your career success, your business success, your leadership success, even your financial success. You are defining success, whatever success means to you, but you are defining that success by long-term impact, by multi-generational impact, rather than material gains. So, based on what you're doing right now, based on your career, based on your business, based on your leadership journey right now, I have a question for you. How is what you are doing generating long-term impact? How is it generating multi-generational impact beyond the material things that you desire? The second point under pillar number one is that you come to a place where you are pursuing meaning-driven goals that align deeply with your eternal purpose. So you are not just chasing goals anyhow, but the goals that you set, you are very conscious that, are these goals aligned with my divine purpose? Are these goals aligned with eternal principles? That is the way you set goals if you are going to be a generational disruptor. The third point under purpose beyond profit is you have come to a place where you have redefined wealth. Now, many times in this generation, when we talk about wealth, many people think about money, think about things that they have, assets that they can monetize, which is part of it, but that is not what makes up wealth. Hear me very well. When I discovered this, it shifted so much in my journey. If you will be a national disruptor, a generational game changer as a person, you need to redefine what wealth means to you. And in this dispensation, here is what wealth need to mean to you. Number one, wealth need to mean influence, your ability to build and manage influence. Wealth means significant impact in the lives of other people. Wealth means transformational leadership in your generation. When you look at wealth from this perspective, it's going to shift everything. And here's one thing I discovered. When you have wealth in the dimension of influence, significant impact, and transformational leadership, the money part of wealth becomes easy. The opportunities that will open doors for you to make money come to you effortlessly. They gravitate towards you. Now, the next point under purpose beyond profit pillar is see profit as a tool. See money as a tool, not the ultimate measure of success. Your profit, your money is just a weapon, it's a tool. It's a tool for you to use to be a generational impact maker. And lastly, focus on legacy outcomes that reflect kingdom values over worldly achievements. The people that disrupted their generations and the people that will disrupt their generations, these are people that they focus on legacy outcomes. They focus on how are my actions going to create impact in the lives of other people in different sectors or different industries where I am a stakeholder. So they think beyond those material things and they begin to reflect on kingdom values over worldly achievements. Worldly achievements don't define them. Worldly achievements don't define you. You are defined by a higher standard, by a higher set of values. You see, people that are followers in a generation are defined by a lower set of values. People that are leaders in their generation are defined by a higher set of values. And those are some of the things that we have been talking about. Now, pillar number two under purpose driven framework. Pillar number two under legacy nexus framework, pillar number two is what I call three-dimensional influence. Follow me carefully. Three-dimensional influence. This is the summary I had to create after studying these guys. So their influence can be broken down into three dimensions. So you operate at the intersection of, number one, personal transformation. So the things that you are doing, how can these things create transformation in the lives of people? The second dimensional influence is industry disruption. You are in healthcare, you are in tech, you are in agriculture, you are in education, whatever industry you are in listening to me. If you're going to practice pillar number two, you start thinking, how will my influence disrupt my industry? What am I contributing to my industry? I am not just a consumer in that industry, but I am an influencer. I am a contributor in that industry. And then the third dimension is cultural reformation. So the things that I discovered that these people were doing, the people that disrupted their generations and created impact, was that they reformed, they contributed to culture, they reformed culture in a way. They introduced things in the society that reformed the culture of people, the way people think, the way they behave, and the way they see things. So, under pillar number 2, talking about three-dimensional influence, in whatever you're doing, your goal should be, how can I influence things in 3 dimensions? How can I influence the personal transformation of people? How can I influence the industry or disrupt the industry or contribute to the industry where I am a stakeholder? How can I, reform the culture of my generation or the culture of my nation or the culture of my region or the culture of the people that follow me? For example, if you run the Facebook pages and you have followers, how can you reform their culture, the way they think, the way they behave, their attitudes, and and certain things around, their lifestyle? So you're thinking of cultural reformation. You are not just a passive person. You are strategic in how you are influencing. I guarantee you, if you start building your influence as a worker, as a professional, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, in this 3 dimensional level, you will shift your work in such a powerful way. And lastly, the third pillar under the legacy nexus framework is what I call eternal KPI system. Eternal KPI system. KPI, for those who don't know, is key performance indicators. Eternal KPI system. So here's my conclusion from what I discovered after studying these guys. They have, it's me that I call it like that. They have what I call eternal KPI system. So they measure success with metrics that are beyond material things. For example, in this generation, you see, we get to measure success by the type of cars that we have, by the type of houses that we live in or where we live in, by how we dress, how we look, by the type of gadgets that we have, by sometimes the number of followers and likes and comments that we get and views that we get, right? But if you will be a generation, see, these things I've mentioned, they're for the masses, they're for the average people. If you will be an elite performer, you be a generational disruptor, your KPI should be what I call the eternal KPI system, where you're measuring your success with metrics like legacy influence. How is my influence creating a legacy? Spiritual alignment. How is my life? How are my actions aligned with God? Right? Generational empowerment. How are the things that I'm doing not only benefiting me, but empowering a set of people in my generation? Now, that is an example of eternal KPI system. Again, let me say it again. You're thinking of legacy influence. You're thinking of spiritual alignment. You're thinking of generational empowerment. Right? Now, to break it down, you come to a point where you are conscious at tracking spiritual alignment to ensure that the actions that you take reflect divine purpose and your divine calling. This is true eternal KPI system. The actions I am taking, the things I am doing, these things, is there some form of spiritual alignment to the will of God, to the agenda of God? Am I ensuring that the actions I am taking as a person, do they reflect the divine purpose upon my life and the calling of God upon my life? Every human being has a divine purpose to manifest, but not everybody is manifesting it. The second point under this eternal KPI system is measure generational empowerment by how others rise and thrive through your calling and the works of your hands. Let me say it again. In this eternal KPI system, one of the ways that you think is that you are asking the question, how are others rising? How are others thriving through my calling, through my giftings, through my talents, through the works of my hands, the things I am creating? You see, If you are not conscious of how people are rising and people are thriving and people are uplifted, people are inspired by your calling and the things that you do, you are not yet thinking from that level of a generational disruptor in the society, right? So that is just one framework that I have taught you guys in this video out of 13 frameworks. So as I said, I have, after doing this research and studying these amazing people, I have been able to create 13 strategies, 13 models that anybody can apply. Like I've shared with you the first framework, listen to it again and apply it in your life. I guarantee you, if you apply these insights, you will shift the work you have been doing in such a profound way that even you'll be proud of who you have become and the quality of the work that you're contributing to your generation, right? So the 13 frameworks for transcendence, impact, and generational influence. This is where you are thinking and acting beyond materialism. In the next video, and if you are not part of my community, this I had to skip some key points in this legacy nexus framework. I need 1 hour to teach properly the things that I documented. So join the community where we get to do longer master classes and teach in a practical way, deeper way, than this, and you will be transformed. In the next video, I'm going to do it. There is something like the second framework I have is the prophet builder paradigm. The prophet builder paradigm. I'll explain what that means. Another one is the Imago Dei performance model. The Imago Dei performance model, I have that, and of course the Ascension growth model. These are frameworks that I have discovered, I've documented, and I've been trying them in my life too, because I want to be a generational disruptor, contributor, and leader, in my industry and in the things that I do. So I have seen this work, and I'm seeing it work in my life and the lives of other people. So please, I encourage you, practice this. This is one of those videos that you don't listen once, because I've shared so many deep and practical things that you will not just get it once. You need to go back again, sit on this video, shut down activities that don't bring quality rewards in your destiny. Shut them down. Sit down on this video, take notes, stop the video, take notes, think, ask yourself, how can I apply this in this area of my life, my calling, my career, my ministry, my business, or whatever that you are doing. And of course, God will be there to partner with you to bring you to your highest level of manifestation. I'm excited about this, and I'm looking forward to hearing feedbacks and testimonies of how this video transformed you. God bless you again, and please share this with a sibling, with a friend, with a colleague, with somebody that you think that this person has what it takes to become a leader in this generation. Share it with a person, and that may be the best gift that you have given somebody this year, which is a free gift, but yet full of value and quality. God bless you. Cheers.